I can see how you're feeling.
World Breastfeeding Week is observed annually from the 1st to the 7th of August and presents the opportunity for the Ministry of Health to raise awareness and highlight that breastfeeding is the most effective way to ensure your child's health. So this year's theme is enabling breastfeeding, making a difference for working parents. And joining us in studio this morning is Nurse Deborah Thomas, manager of the National Breastfeeding Coordinating Unit, and Florence Batiste-Jeffrey, Breastfeeding Training Coordinator. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure to have both of you with us, especially on such a busy week.
It is.
Yeah, because I mean, we had Emancipation yesterday, the week started, and you are here with us now to share, which is something that is critical because this is a conversation that definitely is ongoing and necessary. So tell us a little bit about how the ministry is commemorating the week.
Well, this week we are, in fact, celebrating two ways. We are celebrating the award of the Baby Friendly Hospital Initiative.
Okay.
The North Central Regional Health Authority at their women's hospital, Mount Hope Women's Hospital, recently on the 16th of June, they became accredited in the Baby Friendly Hospital. And so now they are being awarded that certificate on Saturday at an award ceremony right there at the Women's Center. And our Minister of Health would be unveiling that award for them and officially declaring that hospital as baby friendly.
That's fantastic.
So that's the first that's the first celebration. We're also celebrating that later on this month or this year, we would move into, the Ministry of Health would move into the new administrative building. And in line with the theme, we would be unveiling the staff lactation suite.
Okay.
Which is very much in line with the theme because we would be making sure that our employees at the Ministry of Health have that enabling environment where they can continue breastfeeding on return from maternity leave back to work.
Right, because the theme this year is making a difference for working parents.
That's right.
Now, I'd love to hear more about the baby-friendly hospital. Is this just the beginning? Are we going to see, do you think, more popping up throughout Trinidad and Tobago and becoming accredited?
Yes, as we speak, the other regional health authorities are in preparation at various stages of readiness, and we are going to be having other assessments before the end of this year for at least one or two other of our hospitals. And so what does that mean for the women, pregnant women and their families? One, the Baby Friendly Hospital Initiative deals with a framework that came out of World Health and UNICEF that started since way back in 1990. And the framework that is used is what we call the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding, as well as mother-friendly care. And it also deals with ensuring that mothers who are HIV positive are taken care and included as well in terms of how their babies are nourished.
And that is something that is so important. So Florence, we're going to bring you a bit into the conversation now, of course, as a training coordinator. Can you perhaps expound on what the ministry's plans are when it comes to aiding breastfeeding parents in the workplace?
Okay, so the ministry is on that route of endorsing breastfeeding and its continuity. So it doesn't have to stop because a mother has to go back to work.
Right.
And as the theme says for this year, making a difference, because we want to make a difference. As mentioned, we are the forerunners in creating that enabling environment that will allow the mommy, when she comes to work, she has that ability to express and what we call milk banking. So you store your milk for when you are away or separated from your baby so that baby can continue breastfeeding. So it's all about creating that enabling environment that gets the mother that benefit of extending the breastfeeding with a baby We do it through raising awareness in our teachings to the mother. So after a while, you know, you're educated and you're aware of it, and you could ask your employers, so could we have this service provided for us? You know, so it's about the mother now becoming that stakeholder in that, in pushing that initiative for having lactation suite and breastfeeding breaks and those type of things set up in their work environment.
And that is something that is so important. Now, as you mentioned, you know, with the training and so forth, one thing that always comes to mind with this is how well is this accepted by the public? Could you share with us a little bit about how well things have been going so far?
Well, pretty well. Initially, in coming into office, I realized that one of the issues why we had a lot of pushback is because of a lack of education, right? And so the ministry, we started on that trajectory to ensure that we provided mothers with the educational, the educational information, right? So we did that through the production of our brochures or our book, Breastfeeding and Beyond. And at every clinic in the public health system, once you go, you attend the antenatal clinic, you are would be the recipient of having this information. Mothers are prepared for breastfeeding, and not just breastfeeding, part of it is mother-friendly care. So now, and that is the benefit of having our hospital accredited. So now when a woman goes in to labor, it's not just me going into labor by myself. You have the benefit now of having a support partner. You are now involved in your care. It's not just a top-down approach of the healthcare professional telling you, lie down on the bed, this is how to deliver. You can now say, I want to deliver in this particular position. We have equipment now that would help you. We have the birthing balls, we have the different birthing stools and all of that, that could tell you now, okay, if you prefer to walk, you prefer to sit on the birthing ball, you prefer to have your partner, and that partner could be your mother, your sister, your husband, any one of that, a friend, but somebody there with you. Then on top of that, we now practice initiation of breastfeeding, where the baby is put directly on the mother, and we have skin to skin. We support skin to skin for 1 hour or more. And you see the baby actually crawl, find the breast. It's quite exciting. Find the breast and begin to suckle on the breast. And so all of that is done in the presence of that support person, right? And you are actually seeing the difference where persons coming in to deliver are so much more at ease and all of that. This continues when after delivery and you go up to the ward, the mother is taken up to the ward. There are a number of persons already trained, on how to support breastfeeding, who throughout her hospital stay and continuing even after when she goes home, will continue to offer that support where mothers could continue to exclusively breastfeed in the first 6 months, meaning the baby just need breast milk, no water, no teas, no anything else but that. And then after the 6 months, you want to add, but we say food from the family pot, complementary food, and continue breastfeeding. And so in this year's team, supporting empowering persons in the workplace to continue. Right. You see where we don't want to drop the ball. After a woman returns to work, it's like, I don't know how I'm going to sustain this because the environment does not allow for me.
Definitely.
So we are appealing to employers. You don't have to wait for the laws to change. Some of them will say, well, you had your maternity leave for 14 weeks and now it's time to... No, you don't have to wait for the laws to change. You can do that because it would be beneficial to your organization.
It definitely would. And on that note, so we are seeing, of course, moving forward, the building of relationships between employers and between the ministry to be able to facilitate this monument monumental change, to be quite honest. Now, we're almost out of time, but there is one thing that we definitely need to touch on, which is the conversation of women who are unable to produce breast milk. We hear this conversation a lot, and wondering what alternatives or advice you can give to these mothers in a case like this.
Right. So the thing is, everyone has a different makeup. Some will get the breast milk quick, fast, in a hurry. Some, there's a delay in the actual production of it. So what we have done is, through our education, we have done community support, education, we have done teaching of the staff, so that when the mother gets to that junction where the things are, kind of sketchy and I don't know where to go, it's not a case of throwing her hands up. We have support systems built in our hospitals and in our community centers that give a support to mommy who cannot breastfeed, and working on techniques to actually get the milk to produce. Our last resort, we are not about, as Mrs. Thomas said, we are dealing with mommies who cannot breastfeed, and there may come a time where we have to complement or supplement until that time comes. So it's not about we're hard and fast seeing a child having some nutritional deficiencies and saying, well, you can't get anything, right? So while the mother is being supported until that milk comes in and the different measures being taken, the child is being nourished on correctly on a supplemental system until.
Wonderful. So, Deborah Thomas, thank you so much. Florence Batiste-Jeffrey, thank you so much as well for joining us this morning. I know you have a heavy week ahead of you, but this is something that is monumental and impactful for the next generation and for our country as well. So thank you so much for taking the time out this morning.
Thanks for having us.
It's been our pleasure. Trinidad and Tobago, stay tuned. There is more coming up on the Now Morning Show that you do not want to miss.